All right, I'm going to do one of those just sit and talk to the camera for as long as I want to videos today. Welcome to the channel, everybody. My name's Tank, and today I want to spend some time talking to you about the issue with reacting to unsigned and independent bands on YouTube. Actually, let me rephrase that because I don't want to put words in other YouTube content creators' mouths. I'm going to tell you the issues I have with reacting to unsigned and independent bands on YouTube, because I wish I could do it more. If I'm being honest, I've told you guys a ton of times, I wish I could feature more unsigned and independent bands on this YouTube channel. There's a lot of reasons I don't, but today I want to talk about, a really big thing that's been happening to myself and some others. Again, I'm not going to speak for them. If they want to talk about it, they can, but I do know other YouTube content creators that this is happening to. And today we're going to talk about it. And a lot of it revolves around copyright claims. And before we keep going, I know there's probably going to be some people watching this being like, oh, here we go again. Another YouTube creator talking about copyrights and why they can't make money off of somebody else's work, because reactions are still very divisive. Some people very much like them. And other people, I mean, let's be honest, hate reactors or people that react to any kinds of content. They think it's stealing. They think that we're just plagiarizing other people's work and making money off of it. But there's so many things that go into it, man. Not everybody doing reactions is making money. So we're going to talk about a few things, and then I'm going to really get into the issue here, which hopefully maybe some of these unsigned and indie bands do see this and kind of get where I'm coming from. But let's just start at the copyright claims. At this point, everyone on YouTube is probably familiar with how copyright claims work because a lot of reactors have talked about it. Even other musicians have talked about it because when they upload something, they've gotten copyright claims on their own work. Whenever you upload something on YouTube, the YouTube algorithm does a scan of your content, and if it detects any copyrighted material in it, one of a few things is going to happen. It's going to get a copyright claim, which means you can't monetize that video at all, no matter how much of that song you've used. Even if I post a 20-minute video and it flags it for using 20 seconds of somebody else's song, that publisher that owns that copyright is going to get all of the monetization from that 20-minute video that I made. Or the publisher might have it set up where your video is just blocked worldwide. Nobody's going to see it, even again, if it's just a little bit of a song in a very long video. And then in most extreme cases, or more extreme cases, you'll get a copyright strike on your channel, which does have ramifications to it. You will lose the ability to do certain things with your channel, and you're basically on probation, for lack of a better way of putting it. But where we're at right now in the times with reactions on YouTube, we're a few years into reactions being like a really popular thing. Over the pandemic, when everybody was on lockdown, there was a reactor everywhere, dude. I mean, throw a rock, you'll hit a reactor. Everybody was getting into it. Everybody was doing it. And I've said that I feel like, the Wild West phase of this is over. Like, the gold rush is gone. People are starting to fall out of it. Some reactors aren't doing it anymore. I've seen channels blow up and then die, but there are still some people doing it. And going back to what I was saying, at this point, a lot of bands and labels have gotten on board with this. As reactors, we've gotten to know some of these bands and record labels, and they have actually given us permission to react to their music and use their videos. They sometimes reach out to us and ask us to check out a new music video, or they just straight up tell us, hey, you can do any band on our label if you want to, and then just send us the link and we'll clear the copyright claim on it, which is great because then we don't have to worry about our videos being blocked or copyright claims being on them or getting a strike on our channel. And it's awesome. We've kind of learned how to work with each other in cohesion, but that's not to say every record label, because while I have built a good relationship with some record labels and so have other YouTubers, there are still labels, well, I was going to say bands, but at this point, I think most bands would be fine with people doing reactions because it's marketing. But there are still some labels that don't want to play ball and they don't want people, doing their videos, or if they say, yeah, we're fine with it, we might not clear the copyright. So I've seen videos from other reactors that said they're pretty much done doing reactions to bands unless it's from a label that they know. And I am a part of that boat, so to speak. Like, I really only do reactions if I know that the copyright claim is going to be removed. And it's more than just monetization. And I want people to kind of understand that. Yes, it does allow us to make money on that video if they remove the copyright claim, and that's great. But there are also a lot of other things that can affect your channel just by having a copyright claim. Like, even if it's not blocked, just that copyright claim itself. It actually does kind of work against you on YouTube if a lot of your videos have copyright claims. There are certain features of the platform that you don't get to use as opposed to somebody that's all original content that doesn't have any copyright claims. You may have noticed that there are some content creators that are mostly reactors that are above 100,000 subs, which is that checkpoint you get to when your account gets verified, when you get that little check mark. If you have too many copyright claims, you won't get that check mark. And I've seen a lot of pages like this. Also, there are other features like super thanks and super chats and stuff like that that may not get turned on for your channel if you have too many copyright claims. But now that you kind of get more of the copyright claim argument that I've been making, and we've already talked about how there are some labels that are really cool about it, let's talk about my issue with the unsigned bands and the independent bands that want reactions on YouTube, because I get hundreds of emails every week from bands all over the world that are asking if I could do a reaction to their new music video. And like I've said, I would love to do it because there are so many great bands all over the world that are undiscovered. And a lot of the times on my Twitch streams, we discover those bands and they're awesome. But every time I get one of those emails, I respond and I just say, hey, I'd love to check it out. But if I take the time to do this and then take the time to edit it and put it on my channel, I just want to know that you're going to have the copyright claim on it released so that there's no claims, there's no blocks, there's nothing. I want this video free and in the clear. And sometimes those bands don't respond. And sometimes if they do respond, they're like, I don't know if we can do that. And then other times they'll just say, yes, no problem. We can do that. Film the video. But a lot of the times the bands don't do what they say they're going to do. As we've already mentioned, and we all know this at this point, reactions on YouTube have become a big form of marketing. And with some of the larger channels, what unsigned independent band doesn't want a big content creator checking out their stuff on their channel and showing it to everybody else? So there are some bands that will just say whatever, hoping that you're going to do the reaction and put it up there. And in the last month alone, I have filmed probably 15 different reactions to unsigned or independent bands that have told me we'll clear the copyright if you do a reaction. And I've put the time into editing the videos. I film, which is super easy. Let's not lie about that. I just sit here like I am now and talk into a camera and watch stuff. But the editing part, I put a lot of time into my videos. Sometimes we're talking upwards of 3-4 hours per video. And then once it's done, I upload it to YouTube unlisted. I send the link to the band and say, hey, once you get this copyright claim removed, I will post it to my channel. Well, sometimes I never hear from those bands again. I think they just expected that I'm going to throw it on the channel anyways, no matter what. And then sometimes the bands say, hey, we tried, we can't, sorry. And that might be bullshit, but I definitely know there are cases where a publisher just won't listen to an unsigned band, which is super unfortunate. A lot of the times these publishers will listen to what the record labels tell them, but if a band asks them for something, they don't take it seriously. Take Bloodywood as a great example. Bloodywood is an independent band. They're not on a record label. They do everything themselves. And I know it's changed now, but a couple years ago when they were really blowing up on the YouTube scene, everybody was getting copyright claims on their videos. And I know for sure that their band members have asked their publisher to remove copyright claims for reactors. And their publisher has just been like, nah, we're not going to. That's not how we do things. And I honestly believe it's because they are a band that doesn't have label representation, because their publisher is the same publisher that works with a lot of labels that I do, and they've cleared other videos. So sometimes it could be because a publisher is just not giving an unsigned band the time of day that they would to a band that was signed, which is super unfortunate. But again, there are times where we put the work into it and then the band just doesn't do it. Like I said, they think we're probably just going to post it, but I'm finally at the point where I don't want to play that game anymore. I just really don't. And I've been burned so many times by putting the work into a video and then having a band not get the copyright release that I just don't want to deal with it anymore. I could have put that time into something else, another video. And if not a video, I could have been spending time with my family at home with my wife and daughter doing something else. So I just really think I'm at the point where as much as I wanted to feature unsigned and indie bands on this channel, I just can't do it because, again, I don't want to waste the time. One of the reasons I'm filming this video right now is because last week on a day that I would normally post a reaction, I didn't because I had been sitting on a reaction from an unsigned band and the copyright on it never got cleared. If it does, I'll gladly post that video at some point once it's cleared. But at the time right now, it kind of messed up my entire schedule, not being able to post that when I wanted to. And if there's anybody out there thinking it's money, it's not, at least in my case. I've had unsigned bands offer me like upwards of $250 just to film a reaction to one of their videos. And I never do that because I don't want to take money that they could be spending on something that they actually need for, a reaction video. Because if they clear the copyright, we can monetize it. But again, it's not about the money because let's be very real here. A lot of times people watch reactions to things they already know because they want to see somebody else discover that thing for the first time. There aren't many people that are actually legitimately discovering new music through reactors. There are some, don't get me wrong. There are plenty of you I see on my channel, no matter what I'm posting, that have discovered some truly awesome bands that I've checked out for the first time. But I would say 90% of people that watch reactions are watching it for stuff they already know. And seeing as how that's the case, and we're talking about views and stuff here, it's not a lot of money. We're talking like dollars. I'll look really quick while I'm doing this right now. I'll look at my analytics. According to my revenue, okay, from my revenue numbers in the last 28 days of YouTube, if I were to react to an unsigned band and that video gets 5,000 views, we're talking less than $15 for 5,000 views. That's not going to make or break anything for me. It's not that big of a deal. One of the main reasons that I ask a band if they can remove the copyright is actually just to see if they're willing to work with me. Yes, I will film a reaction for you if you can take the time to get the copyright removed. That shows me that they're serious. That's mostly why I do this. It's just to see if they're willing to play ball, so to speak, and that we can kind of trust each other. And once that happens, I'll be happy to do their stuff in the future because there have been a couple unsigned and independent bands that I featured on this channel multiple times after having a successful relationship with them the first time. So hopefully if there was any independent or unsigned bands that watched this kind of clears up some stuff. Like I said, I'm not going to speak for anybody else, but I would be willing to guess that there are other content creators that have the same position as me at this point because, again, it's not just all about money and views at times. I mean, I know there's people that are thinking, well, maybe this band will get you views on your channel. Yeah, maybe. But again, it's more important to me to build that relationship and see that this band is willing to work together than just feature them on the channel. And if there's any fans of bands or anybody that does watch reaction videos, hopefully this answered some questions for you. I've been filming for, 20 minutes, just stopping here and there to collect my thoughts. And I don't know how this video is going to come across once I edit it. So if you do have any questions about this or anything like that, feel free to drop them in the comments and I will answer them when I can get around to them. Because again, this whole YouTube thing for me has been all about music discovery. In the last 2 years of having a YouTube channel, I have discovered bands that, small and big, that have become some of my favorite bands that I would have never known about if it wasn't for you guys telling me to check this stuff out. And I love it. While I don't do reactions exclusively anymore, I want to keep doing them and discovering new bands. But I also want to build those relationships and know that I can trust a band to say what they're going to do for me if I do something for them. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you to everybody that took the time to watch it. If you want to link up with me on social media or anything like that, I'll throw links in the description of this video where you can find me. My handle on everything social media is @TankTheTech. We even have a Discord server a lot of us hang on, and I stream on Twitch regularly, so come hang over there sometime. It's a good time, man. But thank you once again, and wherever you are in the world, be safe, be kind to each other, and until next time, I guess I'll just see you soon.